Yeah. This is a podcast of Nathan, Nat and Sean.
Let's go.
Hi, everybody.
G'day.
On the show today,
We talk about the biggest curry bill known to man.
We did. Now you'll be blown away by this one. Stevie Butler joins us too. A bit of sport talk there.
we talk about extreme requests, and when, the response was, are you sure?
Yeah, also, super important things that you missed because you had a hangover. And then also, I thought we might put in the game round for brain trainers.
Yeah, I think so.
Just to show how good one girl is compared to another.
This is Nathan, Nat and Sean.
So, the Kid Larois, when he was in Perth the other week,
Yeah.
caused a stir.
Mate,
Everybody
he was out
loved
and about,
him.
wasn't he?
Yeah,
Going
went to
places.
Macca's.
Street X.
McDonald's, his
Whole lot.
McDonald's meal in itself was so funny. He's done an endorsement with McDonald's, which is his meal, his special Kid Larois meal, which is a cheeseburger, no pickle, 6 nuggets and a drink. It's like you can't call it your meal by taking a pickle out of something.
It's a bit
Exactly.
underwhelming, isn't it?
And also, eat the pickle.
I know, the pickle's great.
Eat the pickle,
I think
sure.
Adds a
people
little
when
tartness.
they're young, they're scared of pickles.
No,
The
but
pickle.
otherwise, if you just don't have you need something
I
in there to
agree.
break up the cheeseburger taste.
I agree.
And a pickle does it.
Yes, a little
I'm into the pickle.
pickle-sy.
I don't trust people that don't eat the pickle.
There, he said it.
Oh, well, there you go. Well, send your complaints this way. So, over the weekend, people were enraged with him. Friday night, Melbourne show, 35 minutes. People are waiting at the show.
Yep.
People are waiting. They're just so excited to hear some hardcore Laroi. Sean,
I mean,
Yeah, you got to hear
they
this
listen to it all
live.
day.
Imagine.
Yep.
Driving there with all your
So they're
friends.
frothing.
Yep.
Frothy.
It's 35 minutes after the scheduled start time.
Yep.
And then one of his people comes out and says, sorry,
Go home.
no Laroi. No Laroi. The Laroi is ill.
But I've
Roy.
paid and I've listened to
I'm
the whole
here.
album. I've learned every
And I'm-
word so I can sing along.
And
Sorry,
I'm
Sean.
here.
Sorry, Sean. No.
It's tough.
I've
I mean,
come from the
that's
country.
that has to have been mismanaged
Yep.
like shockingly, really.
All I know is the crowd were yelling, bull dust. And they were booing. Boo.
Bull dust. Boo.
Bull dust. They were screaming. And they were like, no, sorry, he's legit sick. And then people were like, well, we're following him on TikTok. And we saw that he was out last night very late at all the clubs.
Yeah, he went
Yeah.
to be fair, he went to billboards.
I know.
Which is like where I used to go like years ago when I lived in Melbourne as
Yeah.
a uni student.
That's great, Nat.
Yeah, so
it's
people
not,
are saying...
it's not, Sean.
So people are saying, nah, mate, like, you know what? You can cancel your concert if you don't go out all the night before and, you're
Yes.
sporting a severe hangover.
Yeah, and all you're doing, if you've got a sore throat and you're using Manuka honey and all the rest of it to get it back up again, yes.
Yeah.
Out of the clubs
Yeah.
all night?
Now, someone
No.
did
Yeah,
post
right.
a thing saying, no, he has influenza, one of the letters, A, B, what is it? What are the influences?
Oh, yes.
I don't know.
Yes and yes.
Influenza.
He's got influenza A.
Influenza I, which is Instagram.
He's got influenza Bay. really get
From Byron, that's the worst strain you can get. And but people
are
are
like, "No,
not
we saw you
believing
out."
it. Now, you
He
know
did
what?
cancel the following night,
Yes,
which you
he
kind of
did.
have to, don't
Well,
you?
you have
You
to
do.
back it up like
You
Sean did last
Yeah,
week.
that's right, 2 days.
You can't just take one
Nobody
day
believes
off.
one sickie, but two sickies.
And he has
That's true.
rescheduled his postponed Melbourne shows.
Yeah.
Because obviously...
And I think he's had to postpone Brisbane as well, has he?
No, he's worked it out, I
Right.
think, so he can, he can make it all work. But, he's...
But the suggestion
He was
is there.
hungover, Nate. He was.
And
He had
I
a
mean,
belter.
he may have also started to feel unwell.
I'm
But I'm
sure.
sure he wouldn't have felt unwell
If you were
if
in
he,
bed nice and
if you're in
toasty.
bed if you're in bed at 9:30.
Yeah, and it just brings me to ask the question of what people have had to cancel or miss. That is super important because they've been sporting a hangover. Because you know what? A hangover is a thing.
Oh, it's quite
that
debilitating.
Can cripple you.
It can cripple you, all right.
It can cripple you. And imagine it if it's your best friend's wedding the next day and you can't go.
Oh, that's
like,
not
'cause
good.
if I'm hungover, I don't care what
That's it, you're
is.
immobilised.
I don't care what it is and how important it is. I will not be there. I cannot move.
The closest I've been was I nearly missed my 2 middle boys' christening. I was so close, man.
Well, because you don't want to throw up in that. You don't want to throw up in the
Full on.
water, do you?
No, the holy
what is it,
water.
The holy water.
Yeah, I was dying. I was over in Melbourne, had an absolute belter, jumped on a plane, came back the next morning. So I was already in trouble with Megan anyway, so it didn't really matter. But then I could not
Were
go.
you in Melbourne because you were playing football?
Yeah, decided to stay over. Go to the tunnel, Nat, get me free drink card.
I know
Absolutely.
how bad a hangover I get. So I gingerly approach drinking too much because
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
want to feel
You've
that
learned the
bad.
hard way.
And then if I do, I will not have anything on the next day. The last time for me was Damien Martin and his
Britt.
and his wife Britt. It was their engagement party, and I got dressed and everything. And you know when you're dressed and you're sitting on there, and then I think I was crying. And then I just sat there, and then I just and then I shook to get the phone. My hand was shaking, and then I just sent him a text and said, "I cannot come to your engagement party. I'm too hungover." I couldn't go into any further explanation. I just let it go, and I felt terrible. But
Of course.
you know, what are you going to do? Whatif.com is all about helping Aussies make the most out of every holiday, and now's the time to unapologetically holiday bigger and better than ever before.
Jump online or on the What If app and book your getaway today.
What if it's Aussie for travel?
Look, the rumours are running hot that perhaps the Kid Larois had to cancel his show in Melbourne because he was too hungover. Or did he have influenza? It could have gone either way.
Yeah, but you know what? I mean,
choose to believe.
how old is he now? What is he, 19, 20 or something?
Yeah, he was
like that?
getting loose, wasn't he?
It's like, you know.
Yeah,
I
'cause
mean,
he was
we've all
on-
been there. We just haven't had to perform in front of thousands of people the next day.
And we didn't put it on TikTok of what we were doing the
Yes.
night before.
We
Big
want to know
mistake.
the things that you might have missed or had to cancel because you were sporting one of the world's worst hangovers. Hi, Tanika.
Hi, how you going?
Good,
Great,
Tanika.
Tanika.
Okay.
Firstly, we understand, Tanika.
And we can already hear the regret in your voice, Tanika. What happened?
So it wasn't actually me, it was my now ex-husband. I had just had my first child in hospital, and he was due to come and pick us up to bring us home. And the night before that he was due to come and get us, he had a funeral as well through the family, so I thought he'd wet the head at the same time.
Yep.
Yeah.
Got home, could not work out how to get into the house, so stripped off and went to sleep in his car. And I had to ring my mum at 11 o'clock in the morning and say, is he coming to pick us up? So she went out to find him, completely starkers in the back of his car.
In the back
he
of
got
his
himself
car.
up, walked inside, put himself to bed, and went back to sleep. And so about 2 hours later, my mum had to rock up to pick us up because he couldn't function to come and pick his brand new daughter.
Couldn't be his brand new
His
daughter.
firstborn child. It's not great. It's not
It's not a great
And
start.
I'm starting to sense why he is now your ex-husband.
Oh,
Yeah,
Tanika.
that's part of it.
It's hard to live that one
Yeah,
down.
It is.
Yeah.
It's not great. It's not great.
Your daughter came into this world naked, and she came home and found her father naked.
Yeah, I get that. I mean, I understand the circumstances where you would sleep in your car, but why would you take all your clothes off?
I know, just because, yes. Why
Why
nude
naked?
in the back of the car?
Mystifying.
Why not?
Jess is in Maddington. Morning, Jess.
Morning.
Hi,
Hey, Jess.
Did you miss something because you were a bit on the hungover side?
Oh my goodness! So when I was 18 and just discovered tequila, I thought I'd go out and have a wow of a time. Yeah, a few drinks.
Yes.
Passed out my head in a bucket and forgot to take my parents to the airport.
Oh,
Oh,
Oops.
Yeah, for a 5 a.m. flight. So they called a taxi in and made me catch a taxi to the airport and drive their car home, which I threw up all through on the whole trip home.
Jess.
and then at that point, you don't want to clean it up. And you're younger, you don't
No.
really think about those things. So then that would have
I
sat there
just-
for a day.
I just cried into my 2-minute noodles and that was about it.
Sweet. And you know it's terrible when you're really hungover, how long 2-minute noodles take to make.
yeah, that's right.
It's like a plagued minute.
Jess, have you been put off tequila for life?
Oh, God, no, I love it now.
Oh,
It only
that's
gave
the
me
spirit.
6 months. I've grown up now.
It does put you on the back burner for a while, whatever the drink is. You're like,
If
you
Yeah.
have
a
to
drink
ban it for a
hurts
year.
me, that's
Yeah.
it. I'm done with it. Yeah, it's blacklisted for life.
So he's now down to just drinking ouzo.
That's it. Ouzo. Ouzo reminds me of our parents and all of the family members
Licorice.
playing cards. Just drunk.
They used to drink ouzo and play cards.
Play cards, drink ouzo. They play darts, and it was just like a salon of just cigarette smoke and
Ouzo.
ouzo and gambling.
The Nathan, Nat and Sean podcast.
We're discussing the things that you might have missed because you were too hungover. Maybe you cancelled something.
Well, like the Kid Leroy we're talking about now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's allegedly what everybody thinks happened. Mm-hmm. He's saying, no, I had the flu.
Yeah, Damien's in Cloverdale. Hi, Damien.
How you going, Nathan?
Good,
Nathan,
mate.
Sean?
Yeah, good.
What's going on,
Damo.
Damo?
Well, you would never have had a drink in your life, Damien, would you have?
Well, not really, but yeah.
Yeah,
I was about 13 years of age,
Yeah.
and I was in the Navy Cadets,
Yeah?
and a group of us decided to go, let's go out and have a few drinks and get somebody to buy some alcohol for us. And they ended up buying a whole bottle of cheap port.
Oh,
port.
Oh, Damien.
And we actually sat down at the park, drank the whole lot, and we're back to the thing. I was that drunk that I couldn't finish my Navy Cadet pass.
Yes.
Jumping in the water fully clothed.
Yes.
I was that crook. I could not move. And hence that, I haven't touched port since.
No. Well, it's
why
no
would-
great.
why would
No
you would have
great
done it in the
loss
first
Would
place?
you
there.
have touched port since?
That's no surprise.
Damien.
Back then, we don't know about alcohols. We
No.
just think alcohol's whatever. Like, you'll drink cooking sherry.
Yeah.
Like, but port.
Don't.
Imagine the first time you
Cheap,
ever get drunk is
nasty
on port.
A flagon.
What do
of
people
port,
even
mate.
drink? Isn't it for the elderly to drink in tiny little shooter glasses?
Yeah.
Isn't that
You
port?
can- and a bit of port and lemonade.
Does port go in trifle? Is that what? No, is that sherry?
No,
That's sherry.
Yeah.
Port.
Gross.
Damien, that's
Damien,
great.
thank you. Tash is in Bassendean. Hello.
Hello, how's everybody?
Yeah,
Great,
wonderful,
Tash.
Tash.
All right. Did you have to, skip something because you were too hungover?
We did. My husband and I, on our first trip to America, we caught a boat cruise from Los Angeles down to Mexico.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we'd met for the first time, this couple on our dining table, a couple of young Mormons who'd escaped from Utah.
Okay.
And they discovered alcohol.
Yes.
Yes.
So we were drinking drink after drink after drink with them. And we were so drunk the next morning that the all-inclusive Catalina Island tour that my husband and I were going on to play 18 holes of golf, we missed that shuttle that took us from the boat to
Yes.
the island. And, the rocking of the boat, even though it was only ever so gentle, was just like,
Too much.
oh.
What about the Mormons?
What
How
about
did
the
they?
Mormons?
How did
No,
they
no,
fare?
You would've
sorry,
killed them.
sorry. No, say it properly. How were the escapee Mormons?
They were not very looking happy.
Oh,
They went back to
all
Utah.
the
Went, no,
little
this-
escapee
we made a
Mormons.
terrible mistake.
But
Yeah.
bless them, they tried it on the next night and they were like, yeah, we're going to go again. I'm like,
They backed it up.
No. Yeah.
Gee.
I wonder even if
Resilient.
So you know when you're younger, right? You can back it up night after
Yeah.
night after night. I wonder if you've never touched it, then you start later in life. It's the same applies because the escapee Mormons went back to back.
How did they do that?
I mean, you got to give them
Oh, you
credit.
know, I mean, but then again, you may be just enjoying your freedom.
Yeah, that's right. That's exactly right.
Nathan, Nat, and Sean.
We haven't touched the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard thing at all. The only
No.
thing I've
Because
said about it is
we'd need to wash our hands. That's why.
The only thing I've said about it is I think that the house they live in together would have been filthy.
Yeah, you've said that a lot. Dave Callan, actually, who we had here a while ago, he was obsessed with it. He was
was.
getting up and watching the whole thing.
I
can't-
just found the whole thing gross.
It was
I
gross.
find the people that are doing memes about it, I think the people that are...
You're making jokes about domestic violence.
all the celebrities
just-
that
That's just-
sided with Johnny and whether, he was found not guilty.
Not guilty yet.
Well, it wasn't a
Well, it was
criminal trial.
defamation.
It was a
Okay,
defamation trial.
Defamation.
Yeah.
So he
20
was
odd million he got.
Found in his favour. But yet, I'm sure without a shadow of a doubt, we don't think there was abuse on both sides. So
Oh.
I think it's just disgusting.
Yeah,
the whole
it's
thing.
gross.
I don't want to talk about anything to do with the trial right now. I want to talk about Johnny Depp celebrating the trial.
Right.
He went with some friends to a curry house in Birmingham, right? To celebrate his defamation case.
As you would.
He
Bit
spent
of butter chicken.
He spent one night at a curry house $87,000.
He bought a lot of poppadoms.
$87,000. I was like, wait there. This can't
How
be
many
right.
people?
20 people. They enjoyed cocktails and rosé champagne and a banquet of Indian food.
But that's like 4,000
How much is
bucks
that a
pop.
plate? How much is that a plate?
We had curry last night.
How much?
$100 for 6 people.
So they saw him coming, didn't they? Well done to that curry house.
$87,000.
That is unbelievable.
They must have bought the
How
prawn
good
curry.
is this?
That's
Oh,
expensive.
is that expensive?
Oh, yeah, okay,
Yeah.
seafood,
How
I get
much
it.
is
Yeah.
naan?
Oh, well,
it's
it's flour
about
and water.
$4.
So,
So
About
what do you
$4
reckon?
a
Okay,
serve,
so if you see Johnny Depp coming in, how much do you reckon you can charge for naan?
well, $87,000.
You reckon like, this is our gold leaf naan and
That's
just chuck some foil
I
on
always
it?
say, I tell you what, we're gonna the naan's $87,000. Everything else we'll give you for free.
Oh, yeah.
and then it seems like a good deal. You go, yeah, I'm on.
Wow, that's amazing.
So, do you think that, like, normally, you know, when you're out with a group of friends,
Yep.
and then suddenly you don't realise everyone's been indulging and drinking.
Yes.
It's usually drinks that get you.
Yep,
Oh, of
yep,
course it is.
yep.
Yeah, but then suddenly at the end of the night, you
It's a
get like
massive
a
bill.
$800 bill or something like
Yeah.
that, and everyone just goes. Mm. Do you reckon that he would have the same reaction?
Do you reckon he said, all right, let's split it? Yeah. just start, I've got to go to the toilet.
Do you do separate billing?
That's so
That
good.
is ridiculous.
Sean, if you'd be able to Venmo me $20,000, that'd be great.
You're listening to Nathan, Nat and Sean.
So, this
Ellie.
morning, Nellie and I are minding our own business
Yeah.
in
Just
our
being
office.
good people.
And he bursts in.
Ali walks in and she makes the boldest statement about something that she did on the weekend.
And the most positive thing I think that's ever come out of your mouth.
And she looked at, I've never seen her happier.
No, it was extraordinary.
Ali?
Like, who is this woman?
What happened?
I said, Top Gun is the best movie I've ever seen.
You're talking about
Ever seen
the latest iteration of
all
Maverick.
the movies.
Top Gun Maverick was everything.
You hadn't seen the original Top
I
Gun.
haven't even seen the
So
first
you went in
one.
blind.
I went in, Mum made me go with her. She really wanted to see it. And I said, oh. Anyway, I left tears in my eyes.
Really?
I cried. I'm not kidding you. Am I too old to be a fighter pilot? Because I'm genuinely...
No, you're
Really?
never too old to be
I
a
want to
fighter
very
pilot.
young.
I want to go on one of those. I drive pretty fast. I reckon I'd be pretty
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
It had everything, and I was like, Tom Cruise, nah.
Yeah.
Love him. I love Maverick. Oh my
Everyone,
God.
I know we spoke about this
Yeah.
100 times over, but the one that I need to see if you like it, because
Yes.
you have been sceptical of the critics. We
and-
all have.
And
because-
you can be difficult for difficult sake.
I can be
Yes.
difficult just to throw a spanner in the works. True. I still do not believe it's going to be as good as what everybody has said.
It has to be.
Harry
And
loves
every,
Harry loved
every
it.
time
Ali.
somebody says it's great, that means that brings it down for you.
It does,
doesn't
because
it?
I just
Yeah.
think I'm being built up for
Yeah.
something that's not going to be able to achieve the glory in which I've been set up for. Out of all cinema, the history of cinema, this is the best that you've seen.
I've never been so G'd up in my life. I loved it. It was fantastic.
That's
I don't
outstanding.
even like action movies.
Did
and
Di love it?
Oh, she loved it.
Oh, look at her
Yeah,
go.
people were clapping, Natalie. People were clapping in the cinema.
Well, they can't hear you, so the movie people. Harry, how many times did you cry?
Tears were coming three or four times.
Ali?
Yeah, the waterworks
Ali?
started.
Oh, I only did once, but what were you
You need to watch the original. Makes it so sad.
You missed a couple of
So
the
with the
tear-jerking
original,
references.
multiple tears. Without the original,
Well,
one good
Yeah.
cry.
One good cry.
So-
And like a pure elation.
It's got to be about Goose's son. Is that right?
There's a bit there with
Yeah.
that, sure. No spoilers, but also crying just because you're so happy about it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
sure.
about
I'm crying
excitement.
out of pure joy.
Excitement,
Joy.
excitement
How
tears.
was
Yeah.
Penny Benjamin? She's the love interest, isn't
Yeah,
she?
she's beautiful. She's stunning. Were they previously together?
No, Penny Benjamin was. So there was a scene in the
So
first
this
one
is the
where
Jennifer Connelly role.
yes,
yeah.
where Meg Ryan was in the cafe with him because I think they were dating or whatever, and she said something about your ex Penny Benjamin. That was the only reference to Penny Benjamin, and then they.
Penny
They
Benjamin.
showed us the wonder which was Penny Benjamin.
Do you know who else is in it? Val Kilmer.
Yeah.
Oh,
Does that look sad
beautiful.
though?
It's beautiful.
It's ice-
it
really?
nice?
It's ice-
The Iceman, mate.
Iceman, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Amazing.
Is he
Oh,
aged
Iceman.
okay?
No.
Like, to be
No.
on the screen.
So,
Okay.
it wasn't fair because Tom
I
has
know.
aged remarkably well.
Yeah, you'd want to be
And Iceman.
before they ask you back at something like that. You want to get a photo of the cast first.
Yes.
So you go, okay.
So has Iceman
And then
altered?
married at first sight you in order. All right, no, I'm not.
Thank you for the
Ali,
review,
best
Ali.
movie in cinema
Best movie in
history.
cinema. And I'm not even getting, it's not Spawn, #Spawn.
No.
I bought my own ticket.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
As if anybody would give
Where
you
did you
freebies.
go?
So
Where did you go?
good.
Where did you
Karen
go?
up.
Oh, there you go. You
I
get a
didn't
free
do-
ticket for next time. Karen up, the only way to watch.
That's where we go.
Nathan, Nat and Sean in podcast form.
We all love Rafa Nadal. We love
Rafael
him.
Nadal, yes, Nath.
Love him. Love
Mentioned
him.
500 million in career earnings. Not bad.
Yeah.
good.
I
Be
was
happy?
blown away when I heard of what he's going to get the doctors to do. He's asked the doctors to permanently numb his foot due to ongoing pain from nerve damage. So they're going to burn the nerve in his foot.
It's great, isn't
It's
it?
extraordinary.
But
I
yet
mean,
pain is an indication that something's wrong.
Yes.
Pain's a good thing. It's your body saying, stop doing this. You're
Yes.
injuring it. And he's going to stop your body from feeling the fact that he's injuring it.
yeah, because if he can't feel it, he can still earn like $4 million from a tournament.
by winning Wimbledon. So so over the last 2 weeks, Nath, in most of the games, he's just been getting a blocker.
A blocker.
But
he wants to
so you can't feel it. But he wants to do this permanently in the short term, so then he can
No,
continue
permanently
his career.
isn't in the short term.
Permanently.
Yeah. But remember when Daniel Chick had a sore finger?
Yeah,
When he was
chopped
playing for
it
the
off.
Eagles and
Cut it off.
his little finger was sore, so he just cut it off. What?
It was in the way. It could stop him. It was hurting.
So he could either chop it off or he could have had surgery and had a long
And
rehab
he goes,
on
no,
it.
just
and
get rid
chop
of
off."
it. Just get rid of it. It was unbelievable. And I just wonder when someone makes an extreme request like this, if, you know, when someone asks you something full on that they want to do and then you go, are you sure?
Yeah.
Do you reckon Rafa's doctor saying,
Maybe we should think this through.
Are you sure? Are you sure you should do that?
Well, I think he's hell bent on continuing his career because if he has that time off, then he won't possibly win the Grand Slam. And also, you know, who knows? It could be 6 months, and they reckon it mightn't work. So they know if they burn the nerve, Nath, bring it on.
But then, how does he play tennis if he can't feel his foot?
I know, because remember when your foot's numb?
Yeah,
I
I can't even walk on it. Exactly. And he's winning the French Open like
if you've
that.
got even like,
How is that
say if you've
possible?
been leaning or watching TV and you're leaning your head on your hand and then your hand's numb and you're trying to pick up your glass falls to the ground. How is he? Really, numbness is full on.
It's bad.
This is a podcast of Nathan, Nat and Sean.
Stories about how Rafa Nadal has asked his doctor to permanently sever a nerve in his foot.
Yeah.
So that he can't feel the pain that he's feeling in his foot, so that he can then play on his very numb foot and perhaps win Wimbledon.
So we were just talking about maybe if someone heard a really full-on request where the response was, are you sure?
Are you sure?
Because I'm sure that his doctor would say, are you sure you want a permanently numb foot?
Bit extreme.
You use your feet to play
Quite a
the
bit.
tennis.
He certainly does.
Cherie's in Wanneroo. Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Great,
Hi, Cherie. What happened?
So I had my wrist years ago playing netball.
Yeah.
Had a piece of bone taken out, and 20-odd years later, I was doing some knitting 2 years ago for my grandies, and my wrist was really sore. Went to the doctor, and he said, well, the only thing we can do is fuse it. But I'm not going to do that. You need to make sure this is what you want. So I had to go and have a conversation with my husband.
Yes.
Then he made me have a conversation with a therapist. I had to go and see her 3 times. And to be absolutely certain that this was
What you wanted
what
to do.
I wanted to do. And, he's gone ahead and done it. And I'm pain-free, which has been marvellous.
But you can't like
bend your
say
wrist.
you can't limp your wrist forward or back.
No, I can't.
So you just like, so wait, let me
So
say.
your hand's just always in line with your forearm.
Because that's a lot of conversation for a wrist.
Is it the hand you use or the other hand?
No, it is actually my left hand. So,
Yeah.
but I
But
still,
still.
You're like a mannequin.
So it's like you're like a Lego person.
So you can grip, but you can't move it up and down.
Yeah.
So is that
Yeah,
hard
and
when
I
you're
can't-
trying
like,
to?
I can't-
Is that hard when you want to wave bye-bye to people? Like, bye-bye.
Well, I'm used to it now, but like even just cuddling
But not even
husband
that.
at night time, I can't fold my hand in to cuddle him. It's
Yes.
Yeah.
strange.
What about putting your hands on the steering wheel? On a,
Oh, wait there. So steering wheel.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's okay.
Okay, you can
steering
keep
wheel.
it.
You can-
yes.
you could do that.
What other things would
I
be hard?
can bend the fingers, so I can
Yeah.
Yeah,
flip
so you
the
can
steering wheel.
Whisking would be fine. Whisking.
Yeah, because that's straight arm.
What else?
Yeah.
whisking.
Well, I'm just trying to think.
I know.
What else? What have you found to be difficult in like your learning of using like a wrist that doesn't bend? What was the weirdest thing?
Well, I can't do my knitting or crocheting anymore.
Oh, Cherie.
So now the grandkids are naked.
Oh,
Yeah.
sweetheart. What about wiping your bum? Was that hard? Do you use your wrist to wipe your bum?
Or you just use the other hand.
Well, the interesting thing is I've got a prosthetic radial head in the right arm. So I was using my left to wipe my ass.
Yes.
Is that the technical term?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, Ray.
So now that I've had the wrist fused, I've got to try now. I've learnt now how to use my right arm again to wipe the ass.
Once again,
Just
very
made a
technical.
nana say wipe the ass.
Things that you didn't need to know, that didn't think you'd need to relearn later in life.
I know, right?
Pretty funny.
That's a great skill.
Nathan, Nat and Sean podcast.
Time to catch up with our good friend Stevie Butler. Writes all the great articles for the West Australian. And I wonder, given it was a Fremantle derby yesterday, if Steve Butler ventured to Fremantle to watch the Sharkies and the Bulldogs. Stephen, good morning.
Stephen.
Well, I didn't quite get there. I was close. I was actually at home watching it. Because I haven't been too well the last couple of days. Not the spicy cough, but a little cough nonetheless. But I am feeling a lot better today.
So Sean was away for 2 days last week. Natalie got what Sean had
on the weekend.
All across the weekend. No days off
Amy,
work.
our producer, she's got a sore throat right now. Isn't it amazing, Steve? We were talking earlier when you hear of people getting normal sicknesses.
It's what you get when you sleep too close to cracks, I've found.
that tracks.
I think we're all in trouble with that one. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, Steve, I just mentioned before, the game came down to the wire, and poor Cam Erdley had the shot that would have made him a superstar, and they lost.
Actually, I bumped into Cam at the Fremantle Markets on Sunday, actually. He was just wandering through. Maybe it was too many of the bratwursts.
What was he buying? A dream catcher? What was he buying?
No, we just passed through the food section, actually. I was a bit devastated to see the paella isn't cooked there anymore. Like it always has been.
Oh, the big fry pan.
Yeah, it's not there anymore.
Oh, that's when you first walk in, isn't it? Yeah, to the left.
Yeah, it's not there anymore. What? But my little girl tried something spicy, and one of the Asian ladies in the fruit market gave her a mandarin for free to help cool her mouth down.
Oh, that's nice. Sweet.
What did she have that was spicy, Steve?
I think they're called chickers. My son had to go and buy a pack. They were $12 a bag. A bag of these crunchy chili things.
Okay, right. Okay, so like a savoury chili
I think it's Tikas. Tikas, I think it was. And they sell them at the Fremantle Markets, and they are quite spicy. My little girl had one, and the lady saw her struggling, and she walked over with a mandarin and even opened it for her. So the spirit of the life Fremantle Markets. But no, I think with Cam, I think I feel for him because obviously they've lost now 13 in a row to South Fremantle, East Fremantle have in the fabulous Fremantle Derby, and Cam's one of their absolute warriors and toilers. And you go to the footy and you just watch Cam Erdley put his head over the footy week in, week out. Even when in their bad years when they're getting smashed, he was such a Trojan for that club. So I feel terribly for him, but he'll get another chance and he'll certainly go back out and do what he does again next week. But I just thought it was a really good, feel-good weekend for the Waffle. The Nat Fife experiment down in the Waffle.
That was huge.
Everybody got behind it. Yeah.
And even Nat's halftime interview on Channel 7, I thought that was brilliant. He's back to the late Grace kid who really cares, and I just thought that was fabulous to see Nat in that space because I think he's had some hardship, getting back to where he wants to be, and to see him happy and smiling and loving his footy again was a really good thing. And then enjoying his moment with the kids like Buddy did when he was kicking 1,000 goals. It was a bit like that on a smaller scale, but. And then you have the two derbies yesterday, the West Perth, East Perth, South Fremantle, East Fremantle, both cracking games, good talent. It was a really good, feel-good weekend for the Waffle on their own stage.
Yeah, no doubt. I know a lot of people would have seen Nat Fife and the coverage he got on 7 and...
And Nathan's just shaking his head. No.
Oh, okay, no. It wasn't on the flick.
Everybody else.
Nice.
No, it was. And he
had a good hit out as well.
Right, you could see him take away the professionalism of what he does in the AFL and the seriousness of it week to week. You can see a person actually having fun playing the sport that he enjoyed when he was a kid. So, and as you mentioned, Steve, all the fans getting around him, and they were all worried that
I don't reckon I've seen that in that for a long time, Sean. I haven't seen that in him for a long time. And even up close when you talk to him, and he's always a nice fella. But I just really saw the late Grace country roots coming back out in him on the weekend, and even in the interview last night that he did with On the Couch on Fox Footy. Just so relaxed, and the Nat Fife that first came into the system. It's great to see him in that space, and I really wish him well to get back into a place where he can really impact that Fremantle team, because if he does, then look out, there's something serious already without him, and there's a 2-time Brownlow medalist waiting to come back in.
Who are they going to drop?
It's enormously difficult.
Yeah, isn't it?
And really, and when I was watching their win over Brisbane on the weekend, which was absolutely
it was a terrific
fantastic,
win. Yeah.
What I really loved the most was watching Travis Collier these are players who have the big question marks on them as to whether they should be in the team in the first place among a lot of the fan base. Now, Travis's tackle late in the piece when the game was still on,
Yeah, it was a great tackle.
was absolutely amazing, and that's what he brings, plus his run. Bailey Banfield's another one, and he just absolutely starred, and he's the most likely probably to make way for Fife, and that's a hard thing to say, because Bailey, he's improved a lot, Bailey, and I really like what he does out there. He needs to clean up his disposal a little bit, but gee, he's good on the weekend. And just to see those sorts of players, Griffin Logue, I mean, he'd been in and out of the team. They've thrown him forward, back, everywhere else. And now all of a sudden, I must say, he did show himself as a backman a little bit when he chose not to mark a ball on the goal line.
I think it was really selfish of him.
It was.
I really
was.
did.
But that's a backman for you, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, so okay, call it. Who do you think should be kicked out of it?
Yeah, they're going to have to. They're going to have to drop someone.
Make the call.
Well, Bailey Banfield's the obvious one.
Wow.
He was the best player on the weekend, mate.
Why are you against him?
And I love him, so don't get me wrong.
Oh, I don't know. It doesn't sound like you do.
Yeah.
No, I do. I think he's fantastic.
No Willie Creek Pearls for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. My bling is gone.
Can you drop the player who was seemed to be the best BIG the week before?
Well, who are you picking, Sean? Who comes in? Who goes out for Fife?
Sean, who are you picking? He wants to destroy Bailey Banfield's career.
No, we'll never do that.
Think? Well, so you've got to drop someone?
Probably.
You've got to drop someone.
Well, it's got to have to be Andrew Brayshaw, doesn't it? He hasn't been travelling too well.
Wow.
No, he's only about probably top 3 in the Brownlow medal.
Yeah, what a blinder he's had.
Yeah, but he's not top 2, is he? So
39 touches on the weekend.
What about when Matt Taverner comes back in? Does Griffin Logue go out again?
No, because then he'll start wanting to job here.
He does have a very big uncle. I'm not sure I'm that scared.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's so interesting.
You can't drop the housemate so the other housemate plays.
Yeah,
you can't do that.
No, you have to look at
wow,
living situation.
wouldn't that be interesting?
You can't do that.
No, that'd be mean.
That would be very harsh.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be
They
so
won't be
tough.
housemates for long after.
Then Heath Chapman will be coming in to take someone's game, place.
Who goes out for him?
Yeah, I don't know. I know, they're in a bad
So then
situation.
now they're playing 25 people.
So,
I must say as well, I really enjoyed Justin Longmuir's performance on Fox Footy last night as well. I thought he was so balanced and measured, and it was quite funny watching both of their separate reactions to when they were asked about flag mantle, the hashtag that's going around.
Yeah,
they're very coyed right up when that term was used.
Yeah. Well, we don't want to get carried away with ourselves for sure. And before we let you go,
here we go,
mate, Bernard Tomic, what's going on with the great
Bernie
man?
Tomic, now, great man. It's a fairly loose use of the term, I would have thought, but he's called Nick Kyrgios out for a celebrity punch-up.
Yeah.
That was the other week,
that's
wasn't
one,
it? Yeah.
I don't like too many celebrity punch-ups, but this one I'd like to see.
You're right behind it.
Just to see which one can shut the other's mouth up. But I did enjoy Bernie's work on the weekend on Twitter. I'm not sure whether you saw it, but on his Instagram story, he popped out a photograph with his head on Will Smith's body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Nick Kyrgios' head on Chris Rock's body and going the slap. I thought that was a very entertaining bit of work from Bernie, but maybe the most talented thing he's done in about 15 years.
Yeah, that's true.
Do you reckon they'll both knock each other out and then we can be done with them?
A nil-all draw.
Look, it's for a mil. They've put he wants to put $1 million up over it, but it's
in the vernacular of my old school father, I don't think either of them could knock the skin off a rice pudding.
Yeah, the best thing would be if they both knocked each other out at the same time.
Exactly.
Like, that's the only thing that we all want to see. So that's it.
Just one swing each, bit like Apollo Creed, Rocky Balboa.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's it.
Swing each, bang, it's all over.
I'd like to see that, Stephen. Thank you very much for your time. I hope you enjoyed the long weekend, mate, and get over the cold that's taken some of the greats down this week.
Yeah, some of the greats, but I'm just going silly up the cracks a little bit, and I should be right.
The Nathan, Nat and Sean podcast.
So we just played Mystery Voices, and one of the guesses from Natalie from Maylands was comedian Lloyd Langford.
Now, you reminded us, Nath, that we had a pretty good interview with Lloyd. When I say pretty good, it was, in hindsight, we just laugh about it because...
Well, sometimes you
memorable.
realise that some people aren't morning people.
Yes. And for comedians, often they've done gigs the night before and that kind of thing.
Anyway.
This is before he had a baby too, so it was not sleepless nights because of the baby.
Yeah. Anyway, so this is us. We're in the interview. We've been doing it for a while, and this is what happened.
We don't even re-record things when we pre-record it. We do a pre-record, Lloyd, and we stuff up. We go, no, sorry,
that'll do.
That'll do. It's not good, is it? Hello.
Hello.
You just went quiet.
There was lots of that. There was lots of that.
Where did he
talking
go?
when there's back and forth? Like the way interviews work, and I've seen a lot of them, is someone speaks and the other person speaks. It's like ping pong. It's like verbal ping pong.
He really wasn't
He
interested.
didn't ping our pong.
Maybe it's just asking, look, like, I'm only going to answer if there's a question, a direct question.
Yeah. Anyway, so we we wouldn't let it go. Had a bit of fun with it.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk.
We thought, okay, that's immature. We'll stop doing that.
Yeah.
We won't do
But we
won't
didn't.
do that again.
Hello.
Hello.
You know what I mean?
After that one, we thought, oh, it's probably time to wind this up.
And it is.
So we did.
The end.
Exactly. The
Yeah,
end.
great way to sum it
By the
up,
way,
Sean.
you've got some parsley in your tea.
Yeah, and on
Thank
this
you.
side too.
I'm eating a jar salad this morning, everyone.
Yeah.
Trying to be healthy.
This is Nathan, Nat and Sean.
Well, they're saying that Minji Lee is the new Ash Barty. Every Australian should get behind her.
She's great, isn't she?
She's from Royal Freo. Come on.
That's
Minroo.
right.
Richie Smith coaches them.
Now we can
Up
borrow
there.
some money off her.
We can, Nath. 2.5 million she won for
Brilliant.
the
I mean, she's got to
US
pay
Open.
tax on that.
I know, how disappointing.
Oh, I chuck it in the bin.
Career earnings just over 11 million at this point in time.
extraordinary,
I
isn't it?
mean, can you imagine the sponsors she'd have as well? That's just
Well,
outstanding.
there was a bit of chat about that actually. That the sponsors that she has on her shirts and stuff. There's no Australian sponsors. They're South Korean. So it's
Yeah,
like,
okay.
why aren't Australian? But maybe it's just that Australian sponsors are being outbid by the Asian
They
sponsors.
could be, but let's hope,
straight
Natalie,
out.
that
Yeah.
changes. That's a really good point.
Well,
that something has
go
to be
where the
done.
money is, and not just that. She seems like a really great chick too.
very
She
grounded.
seems down to earth.
Yeah.
I do love the fact that she goes and works at her dad's cafe as
Yeah.
a barista.
Yeah.
When she's back in town, they had her dad on the news last night. And he was putting up the clippings on,
I know,
on one of the
bless him.
poles in his cafe. I
Super
think
cute,
that's
isn't
so
it?
lovely.
She spent a bit of time at the old alumnus, Sean, Corpus Christi.
Corpus Christi, Sequid Denominanon. Yes, obviously some great golfers come out of that.
Yeah,
Sarah
that's
Tyrrell.
right. That's right. My mate Sarah,
Yeah,
who did
your
not
mate,
make it to the USPGA.
Fantastic stuff, and we wish her all the best going forward because she is a ray of sunshine for all Australians, I
Yeah.
think, going forward. The other one, obviously, is Rafael Nadal winning his 22nd
I
major
stayed up
title.
and watched that. It was so great.
So
He's
he is a class act because you've Roger Federer and him. And when you've got the Joker in that corner, then we can all see the big difference between two guys. Obviously, Rafa's won $500 million in career earnings. So
I mean, that's nuts, isn't it? And the beautiful thing, did you see the photo of, so Casper Ruud was his opponent, the Norwegian guy, and there was a photo of him as a 14-year-old at the French Open watching, so he took a selfie of him, and in the background, it's the final where Rafa's playing, because he was watching his idol play. And then
14 years in a row.
that's right. And then about 8 years later, he's there playing him on the centre court. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it's phenomenal.
Isn't it?
It's phenomenal. The money that goes around is great. I was just reading his stuff about Rafa, and they keep asking him, if he's trying to be the greatest of all time. But he said, no, I'm just trying to be the best I can be, and I love playing tennis.
You've done that,
So I'm not
Rafa.
worried about the end result. I just need to turn up every week because I'm a competitor, and I'm trying to beat the guy I'm playing. I'm trying to play as well as I can.
I believe everything he says.
Yeah. He's very sincere,
He's never been over
isn't
the
he?
top, Nath. Yeah.
I just like him. I trust him. I'd have him look after my kids.
He's not in the limelight. He shuns the limelight a bit. We've hardly seen his wife at all. They've kept their lives very private. He's a class act.
Yeah,
and he's in the hunt now for the Grand Slam, so
Well,
he's going to
certainly
stick around
is.
for that at least.
The other one that's doing the round at the moment is that Phil Mickelson is going to play in the Saudi-backed golfing competition.
I know. So is this the Greg Norman one?
Yes, Nathan.
Now, when Greg Norman first came up with this, everyone laughed and said, what have you done to your career? You put your name next to this is not going to happen. And then the money started rolling in. And then slowly everyone's leaving the main competitions, which is they did not think was going to happen. And it's big names, isn't it?
Well, you think that world cricket many years ago when Kerry Packer took it over, that's what happened. He said,
just flash the cash.
I'm flashing the cash. everyone's going to start wearing coloured clothing, and that's how I'm going to change the game.
As
We're going to
if that's
shorten it. We're going to have a white ball, and we're going to pay you more. So everyone eventually, after a while, because they all go, "Oh, that's against tradition," so we're not doing that. Like's happening with the golf.
I mean, there's
here.
some issues with Saudi Arabia, and there are some significant human rights abuses going on there, and I think that's the main criticism of all the places.
Was it Greg Norman or someone come out and says, "Oh, well, everyone's made mistakes"?
Yeah, well, that was Greg Norman. No.
Yeah, that's not a mistake.
That's not a mistake.
That's like systematic human rights abuse.
Yes, 100%. But you know what? It gets all put aside when someone's offering you $40 million to just come and play in the tournament, doesn't it? You're like, all of a sudden, you've got a bit of, I think I can deal with that.
I reckon.
I'm sure they're trying to clean up their.
I'm sure they are.
Country.
I reckon that I would betray my morals for $1 million.
Yeah. So 40 times over.
What are you talking about? You betray your morals for $5.
What's that?
Okay, so really something terrible's happened, right? That's attached to something. Like, what's the price for you, Sean? To sweep that aside and look the other way and.
Yeah, I'd say less than $1 million.
How much? Like 700?
Yeah, that'll do it.
500,000?
Yeah, that'll do it.
500,000.
That'll do it. I'll be like, that's so bad. What time do you want me on the flight?
Harry just gave me. Harry just handed this to me. So this is an Instagram post. Tiger Woods rejected a mind-blowingly enormous offer to join Live Golf. The deal was in the high 9 digits. 9 digits.
So
high 9 digits.
7 is $1 million, right?
So
I'm talking 100 million.
But he's got how much? He's got all the money. What's
like
his
$1 billion.
What's his net worth?
Oh, Tiger. Well, once he goes
Google it, Harry.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've taken his phone away from him.
So Tiger Woods over 100 million to join that. Well,
yeah,
your morals to go out the door pretty quickly.
But he's got all the money in the world anyway, so you're not going to. You can afford. You can afford to have morals if you.
Why is Phil doing it?
Well, that's a great question.
Net worth. What have we got, Harry?
1.7 billion.
Bill.
1.7. So he doesn't need it.
1.7 billion.
He doesn't need it.
That's extraordinary.
Sean, so if you're you said 500,000, right?
Yep.
So you're going to sign up, and it's run by dodgy people,
Yep.
and they said, and the outfit you're made is going to, and everyone's going to know it's made from dolphin skin.
Yeah,
Would you do it?
and it's sequined.
Come on, Flipper, absolutely. We get to eat him beforehand.
Well, and you know what? A strategically placed blowhole would be a good fly, wouldn't it?
The Nathan, Nat and Sean podcast.
Brain Trainers.
A quick 25 words to the brain might sound tricky, but Aveling makes it easy to learn. With 25 years experience training West Aussies, so they can achieve more.
Okay, here we go. We're about to play a round of brain trainers where we're going to give you the answers and then ask you some questions that pertain to those answers.
Well, how good are you going to be at remembering these? That's the question.
Yes.
Michelle versus Brooke today. Hi, ladies.
Good.
Okay, guys. So $1,000 up for grabs thanks to Aveling, right? Pretty important. Yep. We're going to play you a package with 25 answers. Our brain trainer is going to give you all the answers. 25 of them.
And then we'll ask the questions, all right?
You can't just answer the questions and try and get it right. The answer you have to give us is in the brain trainer package. We need it word perfect, all right?
Okay.
And we might go through the buzzers. We'll test those first so that it's all fresh in your mind, okay? So when we ask the question, you can buzz in with your name. If you get it right, you get a point. It is the best of 5. And let's test your buzzers now. Michelle?
Michelle.
Lovely. Brooke?
Brooke.
Lovely. All right. Nothing to confuse the issue. Settle in. We're about to play you 25 answers.
Ping pong, cat, Heidi Klum, feather, cheese, sneakers, concrete, Elvis, TV, mop, grease, crown, traffic light, dinosaur, pen, coat hanger, seesaw, pirate ship, laptop, ring, Ferrari, beach sand, 7, fence, scream.
There's 25 answers.
25 answers.
Well, you've heard the answers. Now we're going to ask the questions.
I mean, it could be any easier.
All right.
Best of 5, as Natalie said.
Question number 1. It's a lubricant.
Michelle.
Yes, Michelle.
Grease.
Correct, Michelle. It's all in there. All right, Michelle
All right.
leads 1-0.
Question number 2. It's an expensive car.
Michelle.
Michelle.
Ferrari.
Yes,
Yes.
Michelle.
Oh, someone's trained their brain.
Yes.
Question
I've got
number
a mind
3.
blank.
Oh, what's that, sweetheart?
I've got a mind blank.
It might be in there somewhere, Brooke. Just
come on. You ate fish last night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Here we go. Number
Maybe.
3.
You play it on a table.
Michelle,
Michelle
ping pong?
is correct.
Ah.
Michelle's done it. She's got 3-0. That's
Wait,
it.
I want to ask. You've done it. You've done it, right? So
Okay.
$1,000 cash.
Should we give a few more questions?
You've won the $1,000 from Aveling. Well done.
All right, but I want to see.
Yeah.
Keep playing. I want to see if Brooke comes through for any of it. All right, so keep playing. She was. No. You're gonna get one, I think. She was a supermodel.
Michelle,
Michelle?
Heidi Klum.
Yes.
Go on, Brooke. I know you can do it.
Come on, Brooke.
All right.
You find it in a playground. We've stumped them.
Brooke,
Yes, Brooke.
children.
I don't think that was.
I'll let Brooke to go.
All right, here we go.
The
Next
answer
one.
was seesaw, but I think we probably could have paid
could've.
concrete.
Yeah, we could have.
Next question. You put it in a sandwich.
Brooke,
Yes, Brooke.
Yes, Brooke.
Feta.
No, that was feather, but that's okay.
Oh my god.
No, at least you heard one.
It was cheese.
It was cheese. All right, here's another one.
Yeah, I've been waiting for that question. It's the only one I remember.
Sweetheart.
And you remembered it wrong.
Feather.
All right, so it's a Michael Jackson song.
No.
Brooke,
Oh, yes, Brooke.
Brooke?
Thriller.
No.
Wasn't in the package.
I mean, that is a Michael Jackson
It
song,
is.
but it wasn't.
I'm
in
going to give
there.
you one more.
Here we go. You use it when cleaning.
Michelle.
Yes, Michelle.
Michelle.
And mop.
Mop is right. But we would have paid feather. Feather duster.
They would have played better as
I
well.
would have given pirate ship anything at that stage. Michelle, you double won.
Yes, Michelle, you really won.
Nathan, Nat and Sean is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcasts.com.au.